It's the Will and Woody podcast.
Yeah, so this happened. Like they say, never meet your heroes. I agree with that. But I would add to that, never meet your heroes who specialize at philosophy when you're blindfolded beforehand and you have no idea that you're about to meet them, because then you don't have anything to ask them about.
Right. And that feels like it's coming from a real place because, well, that happened today. I did that to you.
You did.
So would you have preferred, like, honestly though, would you have preferred more time to prep? Because I feel like it would have made you more nervous.
Yeah, look, it's probably in one of those halfway houses where I would have loved a couple of days to think about what I wanted to ask him about, because I'm probably only ever going to meet him once, and I'm probably only going to ever get the chance to ask him questions once.
Yeah. Oh, you never know. I think you guys bonded a bit.
What?
Over Zoom?
I don't. Yeah.
I thought you guys were close to exchanging numbers. You were getting along so well.
Or the other option is, having one of those moments where it's a face-to-face, random, bang, go for it moment. I probably would. I mean, in hindsight, I would have preferred 2 or 3 days. I don't know why I'm trying to defend you.
Fair enough. Is that the most? Is that the most nervous you've been before meeting someone? More nervous when you met Kevin Parker, the lead singer of Tame Impala, where you. Now, I'm going to try and repeat it, but Will got so excited that when he saw Kevin Parker from Tame Impala, he said, "Kevin!"
Like the woman from Home Alone?
Yes. Yeah. Kevin!
Yeah. Oh, this was back in a time when I used to smoke. Would you filthy habit? Wouldn't do it at all.
Disgusting.
So your pipes weren't as deep as they are now?
No, they were much higher. And I was at a music festival and I was rolling a cigarette, and he walked past me and I said, "Kevin!" and I threw it up in the air as he walked past me. And
happens to the best of us.
He turned around and laughed and left.
Yeah.
Anyway, no, I'm probably more nervous for Sam. Yeah, we've interviewed Jennifer Lopez before. We've interviewed prime ministers before. This was my Everest. Like, this guy, I mean, you hear it in the chat, but like this guy, it really was very corny the way that I said it, but he genuinely did change the way that I think about myself, and particularly when I was really depressed and I hated myself, and that was really all I could feel about myself. For somebody else to put a new spin on that, wasn't just cool. Like that wasn't just like a, you might meet an idol who you respect on a football field, or you might meet a hero who you like one of their songs. This was like, you changed my life. So the sense of admiration that I had for him wasn't just adoration. It was also, the reason that I was kind of like a fever pitch anticipation was because of how grateful I am towards him. I didn't expect it to be a riveting chat where I get to, dote on him. I have so much to thank him for. You'll hear me thank him like 3 or 4 times because I just can't get over the level, what I feel like I owe him for teaching me how to meditate and how to look after myself.
You'll actually hear a small bit of the chat in this podcast, but if you want to hear more of Will doting and obsessing over...
I was just doting, wasn't I?
You were doing that thing. And if you want to hear more of that to Sam's face, then we are going to release an extended chat, or the whole chat, with Sam Harris. I think at one point you do hear the drool come out of your mouth and actually hit the microphone.
There's a lot of panting.
Yeah, heavy panting.
A lot of panting.
Heavy panting.
Yeah. And I've cut up the chat actually with commentary for the Share My Mood podcast.
Right,
so you can actually hear me have to hear back what I sounded like
and
then speak around that.
Yeah,
which was actually a lot of fun, but also like kind of terrifying.
You also have a big win. I'm not going to give away too much, but you actually you sort of outsmart him at the start,
well,
which was totally
I don't know
wild.
if that's going to be on the Will and Woody podcast version, but it will definitely be on the Share My Mood podcast version where, I pants Sam Harris.
You can hang your hat on that, baby, on that pantsing. I've never pantsed anyone. I look forward to the day that I finally pull someone's pants down. One day. Anyway.
Hey, no, pantsing for me is a pantsing for you, baby.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
It's a bit of a team pantsing.
Yeah, nice. Tag team pantsing. Like it. Yeah, I'll take that. I'll wear that. All right, enjoy the podcast, everyone.
Yeah, check this out. Willie and Woody. Who's got long hair? And Willie's bald, but he doesn't care. Willie Woody. Willie Woody. Willie Woody. Willie Woody. Willie Woody. Okay, listen.
2 days until Share My Mood launches at every chemist warehouse in the country. The mental health app that we've been working on to try and help people communicate in other ways other than talking about their mental health. That's what the journey's been about, Woods. But once again, in the lead up to the launch, I am once again blindfolded because you're the head of marketing.
Absolutely, my friend.
Business.
Let's get down to business.
Marketing.
So let's get down to business.
Woody's week of marketing madness.
Just like this.
The madness rolls on, and my goodness gracious me, have I got an amazing surprise for you to market the app. Honestly, you're going to lose your mind. Of all the things I've done, this is going to lose your marbles.
When you say of all the things you've done, do you mean that including your dad painting a sandwich board called Share My Nude and wearing it into the studio?
Yeah, you're right. It's hard to top that, but trust me, I've done it today. I'm just going to rip this off like a Band-Aid.
Like a Band-Aid?
On the phone right now, I have got a person who you respect more than anyone else in the world. I know you listen to their podcasts. You love their website.
No.
Will, on the phone, I have neuroscientist Sam Harris.
I don't believe you.
Now, here's the thing, though. That negativity that you're throwing at me right now is why I'm going to make you jump through a few hoops before you talk to Sam Harris. Because
why?
The head of sales at this station is also called Sam Harris.
He is.
Now, there are two phone lines.
Don't make it the same, Sam Harris. Don't.
There are two phone lines that are on right now.
Yeah.
You have to pick a Sam Harris.
No offense to Sam Harris, the head of sales, by the way. Lovely guy. Lovely guy.
Yeah.
Oh, that's all I want to say for now.
Okay, fair enough. Very political. You can either choose Sam Harris 1 or Sam Harris 2.
How do I know they're both not just Sam Harris, the head of sales?
I promise you, I swear on my life that I have got
Gee whiz.
Sam Harris, the neuroscientist.
All right,
but if you pick the wrong one...
How do I pick? It's not just luck.
Just say Sam Harris 1 or Sam Harris 2.
Oh, no, that's not fair.
And then you will be connected. I don't even know which one it is, to be honest. The producers put it together. You have Sam Harris 1 or you have Sam Harris 2.
Sam Harris 1.
Hello?
Hello? Sam
Will, I can't believe you've spoken, mate. It's Sam from sales. Mate, I am blown away. I'm blown away.
Sam.
Oh, mate, you're a champion. And then, now listen, while I've got you, I'm about to go out to a client meeting, and you killed it with Chemist Warehouse.
Piss off.
You've done a great job. So, mate, I'm about to leave now.
This is not fair.
Maybe I can do a bestseller as well. I don't know.
No.
We can talk about that in the car.
Sam, no offense. But I really do love
time?
the other Sam Harris. I really love him.
Really? Let Woody can run the show. He's got this. Come with me now. Seriously, let's go.
You can go.
I don't want
Go and do some sales stuff. No. Look, thank you, Sam, for coming on the phone and truly pissing off Will. Really appreciate that. But I do want to tell you, honestly, though, Will, we're going to a song. We're going to go to a song right now. You have got one of your favourite people in the world.
Oh, he's actually not. No, he's not.
That is going to be joining us after this next song.
Wait, that wasn't just it wasn't just about a stitch up then.
That was a stitch up?
Yep, I got that. Felt it, burnt.
Yep.
You've got me, 100%.
Very real now.
But
You've got one song to prepare what you want to ask your favourite person in the world. Sam Harris, the neuroscientist, joins us up next on Will and Woody. Let's go to a song. You can run the app past him. You can ask him whatever you like.
Actually?
100%.
How long have I got him for?
15 minutes.
Holy shit! This is wild.
Let's go to a song.
Wow.
You've got Sam Harris up next.
Wow, this is going to be so boring for all you guys. Suffer in your jocks. Hey, it's Will and Woody on a Wednesday afternoon. I hope all of you guys are having a good drive home. I mean, I don't really know. Yeah.
Because you are. You're obviously having a great
drive. Great.
Driving.
Nothing better than meeting the person you respect most and having no prep for the interview with them.
Well, I didn't really think about that, but that's what I've organised. Someone you worship is a man called Sam Harris. And if you don't believe me how much Will worships this guy, this was you during the song.
Really? He's actually on Zoom. Oh, wow.
Get your computers.
Get our computers. Get my computer. Wow. I actually don't know what to say to him. Oh, I'm f***ing rattled. Like, he changed my relationship with myself. That's embarrassing.
Very embarrassing. And
Hope he didn't hear that.
Well, he's going to hear you now, so it's even better. Anyway, I've got an opener for him, and then we've got your hero, Sam Harris, over Zoom on the other side.
As you may have just heard, our next guest is Sam Harris. And no, not the Sam Harris from Sales. Author, neuroscientist, philosopher, and podcast extraordinaire. To say Will's a big fan would be an understatement. And quite frankly, I need to be quiet so he can get on with his chat. Please welcome to the show, Sam Harris.
Hey.
How's it
going?
Good, thank you.
Sam. Hey, Sam. How's it going?
Happy to be here.
Well, look, I don't really know where to start. My name's Will. About 7 or 8 years ago, I was very depressed, and I saw a lot of psychologists and a lot of people trying to figure out what was going on in my brain, and I bumped into an interview, a chance podcast that you did with Joseph Goldstein, who I know is a very good friend of yours, called The Path and the Goal.
Yeah.
And it just rang a bell for me, which it sort of began me on a path down meditation, and I've been thinking about what I wanted to say to you, but I really just wanted to say thank you, because you actually changed my relationship with myself. And I feel like you're just kind of responsible for a series of very relieving moments in my life after I read Free Will as well. And I don't know why I find that relieving, but just kind of not knowing that I am actually.
Yeah, so some people find it anything but relieving.
Yeah.
So there's quite a polarizing topic.
Yeah, it definitely is. Now, I'm sorry to cut you off, Sam, but Will,
yes.
we've only got a short amount of time with him right now.
Yes,
I've organised a longer chat with you and Sam after 6 o'clock, where you can go right into neuroscience and
Huge.
free will.
Yeah, great.
But I just thought
right now the app.
Maybe you want to talk to him about the app.
Yes, of course. Okay, so Sam, essentially over the last few weeks, we've been making this app called Share My Mood.
Yeah.
And essentially it's trying to address the fact that when you are struggling with your mental health, then it's, the best thing to do is to talk to other people about it. But paradoxically, that's often the hardest thing to do. And I mean, I haven't prepared anything for this, but what are your thoughts on that?
Well, I mean, one of the illusions that quickly lands on you when you're suffering is the sense that it's anomalous, right? That like you're alone in it. I mean, this is a departure from what is normal.
Yeah.
Whether everyone around you is experiencing this exact thing now, virtually all of them will experience something very much like this at a certain point. I mean, everyone, if you just live long enough, everyone you love is going to die, right? I mean, so the luckiest person, the healthiest person is just going to get one phone call after another finding out that people they love died, right? So even the luckiest person can't get out of here without
they're going to have something
a serious encounter with the mortality of others and their own sense of loss.
Yeah.
It's just a common circumstance. And because most of us spend so much time denying all of this or trying to avoid paying attention to it, that we're not good at talking about it, especially when it's happening to somebody else, right? Yeah. Like, how do you you don't have people don't have good intuitions for how to interface with someone who's in a crisis. And that's something that I think everyone has some kind of ethical obligation to get better at, but it's something that when you're in a black hole, you just have to recognize that, people aren't going to be great at navigating that necessarily.
Now, Sam, we know we do have to let you go, mate. I know that you're a very, very busy man, but if you do want to hear more of Sam Harris, see more of Sam Harris, you've got an incredible app, Sam, Waking Up. I know the podcast. You've got a podcast with Ricky Gervais, which has just come out as well. Absolutely mental. Really quickly, Sam, how did that come about, a podcast with Ricky Gervais?
We were just having some fun phone calls, and we realized, wait a minute, this is people would like to listen to this, and I mean, we're having such a good time. Let's just roll tape and see what happens. And so we basically recorded a podcast that's virtually identical to what we were talking about anyway. And so it was just a matter of recording better audio and seeing what happened.
Yeah, you guys really wax beautifully on a lot of topics, and Ricky's obviously a super clever dude as well. So his questions are as funny as they are penetrating, and the fruit of that is honestly a ripping chat. AbsolutelyMental.com if you want to buy and listen to Absolutely Mental with Ricky Gervais and Sam Harris. Sam, thanks so much for coming on. Honestly, man, thank you so much for everything you brought into my life.
Great to meet both of you. Yeah, thanks for the invitation. Take care, you guys.
Thanks so much, Sam.
See you,
Catch you later, mate. Yeah.
Breathe.
Wow.
You've gone very red. If you do want to hear the longer chat between you and Sam Harris, it's going to be on your podcast, Share My Mood.
It'll be on I'll put it up on the Share My Mood podcast. That'll probably be tomorrow, but I think the whole chat's also going to be on the Will and Woody podcast if you want to go and hear the full chat with us and Sam. Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah, we talk about really wild things. Well, I've got questions lined up about
okay, man.
Is there such a thing as free will?
Perfect. Okay, let's go to traffic.
It's the Will and Woody podcast.
Dr. Norman Swan, thank goodness, is on the phone right now. He hosts a podcast called CoronaCast. He's an incredible doctor. He is on to talk to us about these vaccinations. Why are they taking so long in Australia?
Yes.
But he joins us right now. Dr. Swan, how are you going?
I'm good. And you?
Really well, really well. Big fan of CoronaCast. It's been hugely informative all throughout this.
Very, very kind. Thanks.
This period. So thank you so much for doing it, because I've been ranting and raving on the air recently about what I think is probably a frustration that's shared by a lot of people who aren't, in inverted commas, eligible for the vaccine right now. Why is it that if an older person who is eligible for the vaccine is saying no, which, by the way, is their right. I'm definitely not for forcing anybody to take the vaccine. I think the frustration that I'm feeling is that it's still precluding younger people from being allowed access to the vaccine.
So the answer to this question is there are two independent things going on. So if you're over 50, you're eligible just for the Astra vaccine.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And that's a separate thing from the under 50s. And it depends on which state you're in. So if you're living in New South Wales at the moment, a lot of young people are getting the Pfizer vaccine because they've got gaps in the system and they're just handing it out to people. And it's quite easy to get, in fact, the Pfizer vaccine if you're under 50 in New South Wales.
Right.
People are booking in to between 30 and 50, and they're getting appointments in the next 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks.
Wow.
What it means is for the older generation is there are Astra vaccines going a-begging. Now, it's open to a younger person to ask for the Astra vaccine if they want it. And they've looked at the risk and they're taking advice on it.
Yeah.
They wanted to get that. But it depends on where you're living at the moment. So it's quite possible that you could get the Pfizer vaccine.
Okay. The next question is probably about AstraZeneca then, because I know my girlfriend, for example, she's just in and around the age of 30. Can you just talk a little bit about why people are, particularly at that age group, are hesitant to get the vaccine and whether or not that's justified?
So it's about this rare clotting condition, which was discovered in Europe and has occurred in Australia as well. And clear that it's more common in people who are under 50 and less common in people who are over 50. So if you're over 50, the chances of getting one of these clots is one person in a full MCG grant. So you can imagine an MCG grant full, one person will get a clot.
Yeah.
The chances of dying is one person in 24 full MCGs. So that's the risk if you're over 50. Mm-hmm. If you're under 50, then it's probably 4 people in the MCG.
Right.
And probably the same chances of dying. So it's like, whatever it is, 6 MCG full. So it's still quite rare.
Yes.
But it's that bit more common.
Okay, and that's putting the fear in these people to not get the AstraZeneca vaccine. Is that rational, though, given that the fear of dying from the virus is still so large?
I think people in Victoria are recalibrating, aren't they? I mean, they're saying, well, there's not suddenly realize the risk of this virus going around. It's the Indian variant. It's more contagious, and the risks are greater. We're suddenly reminded of that. But but if you're 30 years old, the risk of you coming to grief with COVID is much less than a 50-year-old plus. And therefore that equation of risk versus benefit, the risk is different if you're over 50. So it's not irrational if you're 30 to say, I'm going to hang on for the Pfizer dose. The question of Victoria is, given the pressure on the system at the moment, should we be making more Pfizer doses available to the under 50s if we possibly can?
Yeah.
And if people want to choose the Astra vaccine, it's not a bad decision. It's still pretty rare. Very, very unlikely you're going to get any problems, and extremely unlikely that you're going to die or come to serious grief from it. So it's not irrational. But the hesitancy is more rational if you're 30 years old than if you're 60 years old.
That's right. So, that is fascinating stuff.
I wonder if it is the hesitancy that is the reason why we are the slowest country to get vaccinated, Dr. Swan. And actually, so we have to go to a song right now, but I'd love to hear from you right up next as to why we are the slowest. Is it just the hesitancy, or what else is at play here?
Yeah, we are the slowest or the least vaccinated country proportionately on the planet. Find out why right up next with more Dr. Norman Swan, Will and Woody. Right now, we have got the one and only Dr. Norman Swan. He is the dude when it comes to COVID-19. He's got a podcast, CoronaCast, which is literally the definitive podcast and all the information that you need in and around the coronavirus. And at the moment, couldn't be a better time to talk to him. Woods and I have been talking about vaccines and when we're going to get them, how we're going to get them, why the country is in the position that it is currently. And so we thought there'd be loads of you guys driving right home right now who'd be thinking exactly the same thing. So I've got Norman on to answer your questions.
Dr. Swan, is the hesitancy why we are so slow at vaccinating as a country right now? I mean, I'm looking at a list right now. We're 101st on the list there. Uzbekistan's got us covered. Tonga's got us covered. Why are we so slow?
Oh, because the federal government wanted to claim credit for all this, and they bypassed the normal way that we do immunization in Australia. Every year we do lots of hundreds of thousands, if not millions, of vaccinations.
Yeah.
And we've got a system that goes through the states, and the states well organize it. The federal government decided to bypass that, and they've got this clunky system which doesn't actually work very well at all because it's not the normal, well-oiled system. Right. And one of the reasons for hesitancy is convenience. People hear stories, I phone up my GP and I can't get an appointment in September, then I phone up another one. You hear all these stories. It's much easier now than it was.
Okay.
But convenience is one reason why people say, "Oh, well, should I be bothered?" Rather than worrying about the clot.
Can we talk about the should we be bothered question, Norman? Why should people be bothered to get vaccinated? And this is an argument that I have with lots of people. This is that we live in this very weird, let's call it a bubble in Australia, where we're used to living this COVID-free lifestyle, which isn't the same anywhere else on the planet, apart from, I'm sure, Antarctica and the North Pole have got a bit of a claim to a COVID-free lifestyle up there as well.
Yeah.
But we live in this bubble, which I think is sort of really toying with our relationship with the virus. And I think a lot of people seem to, well, it's human nature. It's out of sight, it's out of mind. But the reality is that we've never eradicated a virus from the planet since smallpox. This thing's going to be around. It's going to get into Australia at some stage, and we can't continue to live in the place that we have been living. There's going to be a moment when the damn wall breaks and it is in the community. Can you please explain to us the importance of getting vaccinated so that we're ready for that?
Yeah, well, the importance is probably, I don't have to explain to any Victorian the importance. I've probably got to explain to other states more than Victorians, but the reasons are, one, you get yourself protected. So you stop being anxious about yourself and your family. Two, if the virus gets in, then the more people who are vaccinated, the more insured we are against serious spread, particularly if we cover the aged people and so on. But younger people spread this virus, so they don't necessarily get very sick, although plenty of people in India and the United States and elsewhere in their 20s and 30s and 40s have died, by the way. So you protect yourself, you protect the community, and you allow us to open up. And at some point, we will open up. And you're right, when we do open up, the virus will get into the community.
It's going to be here. It's going to be here.
I mean, my view is set a date. Say, 31st of January, we're opening up.
That's the day.
Watch the queues form around the block.
Yeah. Well, I think that's what we're finally seeing in Melbourne is the fact, it's obviously annoying and tragic that the virus is here in a lot of ways, that, starting to get more cases, but that's the kick up the arse that a lot of people needed to be like, shit, maybe it can get in.
There's no point sitting in the fence. Most Australians are not anti-vaxxers. They're not people who are for conspiracy theories.
We're just apathetic.
We're anti-effort, I think.
We're just apathetic. That's Australia in a nutshell.
We're Australian.
Dr. Norman Swan, mate, thank you so much. You can listen to more of Dr. Swan's podcast, CoronaCast, wherever you get your podcast. It is incredibly informative, insightful, and been a real roadmap for me, I know, through all of this. So, Dr. Norman, thank you so much for joining us, mate. It's been a pleasure to talk to you. And all the info, I hope, to everybody out there right now is get the vaccine as soon as you can. Thanks, Dr. Norman. It's been a pleasure, mate.
It's the Will and Woody podcast.
Will and Woody's Phone Alone.
People are calling us 131065 and trying to convince us that they are in the car with someone else. We've got a guest, Will. Is someone else actually there? Or are they putting on a voice? Let's go to Taylor here. Hey, Taylor.
Hey, Will and Woody.
All right. Who are you in the car with, Taylor?
I'm in the car with my girlfriend, Alex.
Your girlfriend, Alex. How old's Alex? Tell us a bit about Alex.
She's 25. She's a nurse, and I'm 22, and I'm a Sparky.
Okay, interesting. Okay, can you chuck... Is it Alex?
Yep, Alex.
Yeah, it's Alex.
Chuck Alex on the phone, please.
Hello.
G'day, Alex.
Oh, jeez.
What are you two girls up to this afternoon?
Just on our way into Richmond.
And what are you doing there?
Getting a tattoo.
Hey!
Hey, nice.
What? And why is Taylor going with you?
Moral support.
Bit of moral support.
Yeah,
bit of moral
makes
support.
sense. Makes sense.
I reckon there's two people. I reckon there's two people there, Woods.
Taylor and Alex, we think you are two real people.
Yes, we are two real people.
Sounded similar. I sounded similar. Trap for young players, though.
Yeah.
Trap for young players. Go to Natalie. Natalie, who are you in the car with there?
Hi, how are you?
Yeah, no, good, mate. Who are you in the car with there?
I'm in the car with my sister-in-law, Monique.
Monique.
Okay, put Monique on the phone, please.
Okay, Monique, I want to talk to you.
Oh, yeah.
Hello?
Hello.
Hi, Monique. How do you know Natalie?
Hi, she's my sister-in-law.
Of course, you just said that. What are you guys up to this afternoon?
Yo, we're just heading up to Bondi Junction. Our children are mad about Pixie's fidgets, so we're going there to buy them.
It's a great voice, but Natalie, you're in the car alone.
Oh, yeah.
Natalie, it was a great voice. We'll give it to you.
It's the Will and Woody podcast.
Question for everyone. 131065. Are ratty legs
Oh, come on.
on a guy actually that much of a turn off? That's my question.
By ratty legs,
Yeah.
are you just saying proportionately skinny legs? Or just skinny legs?
No, just legs that just look a bit ratty. You know,
What's-
they're
what-
just
what-
a bit shabby.
What makes mine...
Bit skanky.
What?
You know, the calf is, a bit high.
I do have a high calf.
You got a bit of a high calf. I mean, I was
very-
talking to you about this the other day. It came up in Airwoods. And look, you've got rad legs, bro. For a guy who's as fit as you are, your calves are a bit ratty.
Don't. Come on, man.
Oh,
Come on,
that,
man.
That was a low blow, wasn't it?
That hurt.
Ratty calves.
Yep, no, you've crossed the line.
Old rat legs over there.
You know I wear a long sock to try and conceal as much leg as possible.
Yeah, you've got ratty legs. There's no doubt about it. I've been out with you on particularly windy nights, and your legs have nearly been taken out from under you by the stiff breeze.
That's not true.
You've got ratty legs, bro. Look, we were talking about this the other day on the airwaves, and then all of a sudden, a day later, no longer than a day later, a photo of this guy. Chris Hemsworth, for himself. If you guys haven't seen the photo, the first thing you need to notice in the photo is that his deltoid is the size of Uluru. But then from there, he is getting pasted online for the fact that he's got these ratty legs.
Yeah, very skinny leg. I think his brother...
It's like a couple of stockings stuffed with a... when you used to make puppets when you were a kid, you used to stuff stockings? That's what it looks like. Stockings stuffed with cotton wool. That's what it looks like. Now, his legs look... I mean, again, he's a victim of the fact that his torso is basically just South America. In that shape as well.
I can't believe how big his top half is.
It's enormous up the top there. But then it kind of just falls away.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I've heard he's on crutches on the set, just to support the inversion of weight that's going on there. But look, here's what I want to know, because here's the thing: he's getting pasted online for having these rat legs.
Yeah, mostly from blokes though.
Yes, and
blokes saying, "Oh, don't skip leg day, bro." That sort of gear.
Yes, and this is what I want to focus on, because I feel like a bloke having rat legs, or as guys say, "Oh, you skip leg day, bro." I feel like that is banter between guys, or let's say heterosexual guys. Here's a question I want for everyone else. 131065. Are ratty legs, are having disproportionately not muscular, scabby, disheveled, wouldn't piss on if they were on fire legs.
They're all lovely terms for my legs.
If you have those legs, is that actually a turn off?
Yeah, okay.
Or do you just, as a woman, because I mean, I'm going to be honest, I've never done a leg day in my life. I mean, you know.
The embarrassing thing is I try really hard to get my rat legs going, but nothing can be done.
But it can't be done. But I've lived my whole life thinking that the way that my leg is, my leg definition as a bloke has no bearing on whether or not a woman finds me attractive. Now, I could be totally wrong there. 131065 is the phone number. Phone lines are open, guys. I'd love to hear from you. Let's settle this. Are rat legs actually that unattractive? Maybe your girlfriend Mim should call Woods.
She said before she likes my legs.
Did she?
Oh, she's lying, isn't she? Come on.
Yeah, it's Will and Woody here on your Wednesday afternoon. Woodrow, you've got rat legs. I mean, there's no other way to talk about it.
It's not good for my self-esteem.
I was trying to think about a metaphor which best described your legs. And, you know, like those steel filters that you put in your plug in your kitchen sink?
Yes.
Those little sink protectors. Yeah, like a sieve. Yeah. You know when you go to clean that and you pull it out and there's been a bit of spaghetti that's just hung there? That's your legs. And the reason we're talking about it is because Chris Hemsworth also has stinky spaghetti plug legs. We just found out. We sent a photo of him as Thor walking around with his kid. I mean, his kid's embarrassed. I mean, sure, he's got great deltoids, but you could literally fit 3 of his legs into his deltoids.
Yeah, no, you could easily.
And he's getting pasted online for having these rodent-style sand shrew legs. And so right now we're just asking the question, like, because it's guys that are pasting him. They're saying, "Oh, did you skip leg day, bro?" Like, I've got rat legs as well, Woods. Don't worry, we both do. Neither of us. Well, I don't put any effort into my legs, so it's a bit easier for me to say. But
we asked the team today. They said conclusively that I had much worse legs than you, which was devastating to hear.
Let's find out whether or not this is actually a thing.
Yeah.
Because I've lived my whole life with the belief that women or other guys that are attracted to guys don't take into account the legs.
Let's go to Jenny here. Jenny, talk to us. Rat
Hi.
legs. What do you think about them?
First of all, I want to say hi, and I love
Jenny.
that I got on. I'm so happy.
Oh, good on you, Jen.
Thanks for calling, Jen. Now let's get down to Woody's guinea pig legs.
Look, to be honest, I love guinea pig legs.
Yes.
I think it doesn't matter, but to be honest, I also really like my muscly legs, but my boyfriend's got them, and I'm just like, oh, look, you skip leg day, you're a bit lazy, but I like rat legs.
Yeah.
Great to hear.
Fine.
Great to hear.
Great to hear, Jen.
Great
Thanks
to
for the
hear.
call.
Got
ratty legs.
I think Bo Ryan's joining us tomorrow.
Rat legs.
He's
got ratty legs.
100%. And he waxes down, or he shaves down.
He does the best he can to hide them.
No, he loses a lot of size when he waxes down.
Yeah, they're as ratty as they come. Let's go to Tracy. Trace, you're not a fan of the rat leg?
No, and hi guys, great to talk to you.
Thanks, Trace.
Yeah, I actually don't call them rat legs. I actually call them chicken legs, and that's something I've always found it very, very unsuitable to view. Basically, although in saying that, Chris Hemsworth on the different hand is always very suitable to view. In my eyes.
Well, I was just going to. But Trace, I mean, is he knocked down a peg or two? Because I mean, there are chicken legs, obviously, but I think rat legs are a step down from the chicken legs. Do you think? I mean, is Hemsworth tarnished at all by the fact that he's got those ratty legs?
I don't think Chris could ever be tarnished by anything like
Fair enough.
frankly.
What about Woody? What about Woody though?
Oh, well, he's in a different league, isn't
he?
Come on,
he is. Yeah, no, fair enough. That's fair.
That's totally fair. This is great for my confidence. Let's go to Bernie here.
Let's go to Bernie.
Bernie, what are your thoughts? Rat legs, is it an issue for you?
Hi guys, how you doing?
Good, thanks.
Well, legs I don't really care about. It's the attitude and the vibe.
Yeah, right. All right. I like that, Bernie. Look for the personality. Don't worry about the rat legs.
Good on you, Bernie. Appreciate
good on
that.
you, Bernie. We're going to move on, though, because nobody wanted to hear that. Let's go to Karen here.
I wanted to hear that, actually. That was really...
mate, I feel like just because you've got legs that are like those stringy bits that come off bananas that you throw in the bin. Let's go to Karen on 131065. Karen, take us home. We're talking about rat legs. You're not into them.
No, I am. It's like the legs shouldn't really count. You're going out with a whole personality, how they make you feel. I've actually told my partner he's got feminine legs.
And we don't want to hear that. I remember I put on heels for the first time.
What?
And sorry, but I do put on heels occasionally. Any woman that sees me is like, they get jealous of my legs.
Yes.
You don't want to hear that.
You are great in drag, though. You're a beautiful woman.
Yeah, I know I am, but I don't want to be.
Oh, no, you won't.
There's a reluctance there.
Okay. Yeah, it's no reluctance when you're in drag, though.
Yeah, I become the character. It's very real for me. It's very real for me. I'm method, baby.
Let's go.
See what you're hearing. Find us on Instagram and Facebook. Search Will and Woody.